just go to the Balaram, and you've got so many references to activities that Balaram performed. Right? Give you a little example. Transferred from the womb of Devaki, naming of kills Pralambasura, kills Denakasura, Seshanag, kills Restvas, kills brothers of Kamsa, instructs to Krishna and Rukmini, residents of Mithila, kills Rukmi, visits Vrindavan, kills Vivida, meets with Kuru and drags Hastinapur, first expansion of Krishna, kills Ramasa and Chuta, kills Balvala, tours sacred places, anger at Arjuna. So, you should all know all those topics, right? If you want to be devotees of Krishna. Right? If you don't want to be devotees of Krishna, then you're wasting your time coming here, because that's what we're trying to propagate. So, Balaram was originally transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He was in prison. Devaki was in prison in the Kamsa Karga, the prison of Kamsa Maharaj, because he was told that the 8th child of Devaki will kill you. Right? So he was killing all the children one by one. So, who were these children? Right? There's an interesting little thing, if I can find it in here. Okay, so one time Lord Brahma, right, he was impelled by lusty desires, and he started chasing his daughter for sexual activity. And he had 6 sons, Marichi, he got 6 sons, all demigods in the womb. So these demigods, they became quite critical of Lord Brahma, right? So this resulted in them being cursed to take birth as the children of Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu cursed them in turn, and they took birth from the daughters of Devaki, the first 6 children, and they were all killed by Kamsa. Right? So, these 6 sons called Smara, Udgita, Parishvanga, Patanga, Shudrabrit, and Grini. And they were, after being killed by Kamsa, they were sent to Bali Maharaj in Sutala. So one time, Devaki, she's praying to Krishna, that to Balaram and Krishna, in words that we don't find Mother Yasoda using. She's calling them the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yasoda never uses these terms for Krishna. What does she do? She grabs hold of Krishna's ears and twists it and said, "You're a naughty boy, you've been stealing yoga." So, anyway, so all these 6 children, they were requested by Devaki wanted to see these 6 children again. So Krishna and Balaram, they went to Sutala, and then they told Bali Maharaj, "We want those 6 personalities that are in your audience." And then they brought them back as children, babies, and Mother Devaki she breastfed them. And of course, she'd already one time breastfed Krishna. That was on the night of his birth, right? So, before then, Krishna had appeared in 4 arms, 4-arm form, and he'd told them, "Kindly take me to Jamuna, across the Jamuna, and exchange me for the child that is born to Yasoda, right? So that was what happened. But prior to them leaving, Mother Devaki, she got one chance to feed her breast milk. So that breast milk then became nectar. So when those 6 sons of Devaki, the first 6 that were killed by Balaram, they got to taste that nectar in the form of Devaki's breast milk. They got liberated, and immediately they went back to the spiritual world. So that's just a little bit. So who is Balaram? Balaram is the first or second expansion, depends which way you look at it. One side you've got Radharani coming out, and the other side you've got Balaram. Balaram is Akhanda Guru Tattva, is the original form of the Guru. Everything expands from Balaram, right? All the paraphernalia that is in Gokul, the shoes, the flute, everything, peacock feathers, they're all expansions of Balaram, right? And then he again expands as a Chatavyuha, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, and Shankarshan. And then from them you get a secondary Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Shankarshan, and Aniruddha, we've got one missing anyway. But then from them, Gavadaksha Vishnu, Kiranadaksha Vishnu, and Shiradaksha Vishnu all come. So they are the progenitors for the Vishnu forms when they come through into the material world. So they come through and get Sheshanag, right? So Balaram has many wonderful pastimes. He spent 14 months total in the womb. He spent 6 months in the womb of Devaki, right? And then he was transferred by Devaki to the womb of Rohini, and then he spent another 9 months there. So, 8 months, 9 months, right? So he worked 14 months total. So Bala means very strong. So children that spend a lot of time in the womb of their mother, they become out very strong. And if the ones that don't last, they come out early, they're usually pretty weak, right? So he was named at the same time as Krishna. Krishna takes birth next year. So some people say that Balaram was a year older, right? But it's not true, right? He was because of this Yoga Maya influence, he was trapped in the womb for 14 months, and then he took 8 days, birth 8 days before Krishna. Next week's coming up, Janmashtami. So Balaram, he took the form. He was playing as a cowherd boy, right? So one demon came, Pralambasura, right? So he was playing as a cowherd boy, and he was on Krishna's side, right? So when Krishna's side was defeated by Balaram's side, so the penalty was that they had to carry a member of the other side. So Pralambasura thought, I'm not going to carry Krishna, he's too powerful, I'll carry Balaram. So then he put Balaram on his shoulders and he started running away. And then Balaram said, where's this guy going? And then he became very heavy, right? And then Pralambasura became very, very large. And then Balaram's going, what's going on here? So then he bonked him on the head. Pralambasura was finished, right? So he also has a pastime in Taliban. What's tal? What is tal? Tal is a fruit, right? Tal fruit, right? Never had it, but then you've had tal fruit? No. Anyway, something like dates. Okay. So Kamsa had his tal fruit orchard, and these asses, donkeys, they were looking after this, and they wouldn't let anybody else come into the forest to take the preserve. They were all going to Kamsa. So one day, all the cowherd boys were saying, Krishna, Balaram, we've been attacked by a big demon. And Krishna said, I don't see any demon. No, the demon's in our stomach. It's called hunger, right? So, can you solve the problem? So he said, oh, can you smell something? Tal fruit. Apparently tal fruit had a very nice smell. So, there's just over there, there's a whole forest of tal fruit. So Balaram, he went there, and he started shaking the trees, and all these fruit were dropping, plop, 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 plop. And then, of course, Denakasura and all his ass cohorts, they heard this sound. So they came, and they immediately, Denakasura, he ran up to Balaram, and asses they like to kick with their back legs. So he gave a double whammy into Balaram, and Balaram didn't even flinch. Then he gave another double whammy. Then Balaram caught his legs, picked him up in the air, and threw him in the tall trees, right? And he was finished, right? So then he, all the demon cohorts of Denakasura, they all came and they attacked Balaram. So Balaram and Krishna would each, when the demons would kick them with donkey demons, would kick them with their hind legs. They would pick them up, twirl them around, and throw them in the trees. So the whole forest became full of dead trees and covered with blood. So then the devotees said, well, we're not really hungry anymore. We don't want to eat all these blood-stained tal fruit. So, and then by chance, Akrura, what happened to Akrura? When he took Krishna and Balaram to Mathura, right? And he took bath just as he was leaving Vrindavan, and he was looking in the lake, and he left Krishna and Balaram on the chariot, and then he's looking in the lake, and he sees Krishna and Balaram in the form of Seshanag and Mahavishnu, right? So then he was quite bewildered, and he came back, and he looked at Krishna and Balaram, and he said, they said to him, well, Uncle, did you see something strange? And he says, oh, no, you better go and take bath. So they went and took bath, and then they went to Mathura. So Balaram, again, Rukmi. Who was Rukmi? Rukmini's brother. Bang, bang, Maxwell's silver hammer, right? Just knocked a balloon off. So when Rukmini, she wrote a letter to Krishna that they're going to marry me to this horrible fellow. I don't want to get married to him, so come and kidnap me. So at the time of the Swayamvara, then Krishna rocks up on his chariot, and in front of all the princes, then he tells Rukmini to get on the chariot, and then Rukmini grabs the reins and she's driving away, and then all the demoniac soldiers, Rukmini and other allied kings, they all chasing Krishna and then Krishna annihilates them all, and he captures Rukmi, but he doesn't kill Rukmi. He gives him a strange haircut. He chops his hair. He gives him like 8 seekers, all over 6 seekers. Sorry, 5 seekers. Sorry for the Pandavas, one for each Pandava, right? And then he makes him look exceedingly funny. And then Balaram comes and says, Krishna, what are you doing? You've made our brother-in-law look very strange. And anyway, so Rukmi always had an animosity to Krishna because of this incident, right? So one time they went to his palace in Mathila, and Balaram, he stayed there and he trained Duryodhana, right, in club fighting, right? So Krishna and Balaram were there, and then the king of Kalinga, he advised Rukmi, that was Rukmi's capital, and he says, why don't you challenge these ignorant cowherd boys, right, to a game of chess? All they know is herding cows and milking cows. They don't know anything about subtle activities like chess. So then they challenged to a game of chess. So there was the gambling. Always chapters, they like to gamble, so they started off, I'll go 1 gold coin, 10 gold coins, 100 gold coins. But Balaram wasn't very expert, and anyway, they got up to 100,000 gold coins, and then Balaram won. And then Rukmi, he said, no, I won. This is, you just changed it. And then Balaram got really angry. He said, okay, now I'll bet him 1 million gold coins, right? So then he bet 1 million gold coins, and then again Balaram won. And then he would say, no, you didn't win, I won, like this. And they were cheating Balaram. And then a celestial voice said, actually, for all honest persons in this assembly, Balaram was the winner. So then Balaram, what does he do? He has a weapon. What's his weapon? Do you know what his weapon is? Huh? No, club. He has a club, right? What's it called? Danda? No. Anyway, a club. So he killed Rukmi with his club. And then the king of Kalinga, who had previously initiated him, he was smiling, laughing, encouraging Rukmi to cheat, showing his teeth. So Balaram grabbed him by the hair and knocked all his teeth out. Right? So this is what happens when you get on the wrong side of Balaram. So what else we got? Balaram, after Krishna had left and gone to Mathura, then Krishna sent Balaram to Mathura to pacify the residents of Vrindavan. So Balaram, he has his own rasa yatra with the gopis, and then he, what other time? He breaking through, dancing with all the young gopis. Prabhupada says it was all the young gopis that were too young to enjoy the pastimes of dancing in the Rasa Leela with Krishna. So he danced with all those young gopis. And then became Balaram. One time he liked to drink Varuni. You know, Varuni's a liquor. So then he got drunk and he called, "Hey, Yamuna, come over here." Right? So Yamuna, thinking, "Oh, he's drunk. I'm not going anywhere near him. He's drunk." Right? So he said, "If you don't come, I'll drag you." And he has another weapon. What's the other weapon? Plow. He has a plow. So with that plow, he was going to drag the Jamuna to him. So then Jamuna understood that he was actually serious. So then she went and paid her obeisances to him. So he also killed another personality called Devivida. Now Devivida was a strange character because he was on Ram's side in the Lanka battle. Right? He was fighting for Ram. He had a lot of time for Lord Ram, but he didn't have any time for Lakshman. So Lakshman is incarnation of Balaram. So he's the younger brother in this case, right? And he had to do many horrible things, like, you know, when Krishna, Ram, when he celebrated the end of the battle, then he called for Sita, and then he asked Lakshman to build a funeral pyre, and he told Sita, "Get on the funeral pyre." And Lakshman, he didn't want to do this, but as a younger brother, he had to do it. So he said, "This is the last time I come back as a younger brother. Next time I'll come back as an older brother, and then I don't have to follow the younger brother's instructions." So in that next incarnation, he came as Balaram, and then he, anyway, Devivida gorilla, he tried to kidnap all the gopis, and then Balaram came and conked him on the head with his club, and he killed him. So another time, the Kurus, Lakshman was attracted to Duryodhana's daughter, Lakshmana, right? What was the son? Samba. Samba was attracted to Lakshmana's daughter, and Lakshmana was the daughter of Duryodhana, and he kidnapped her. And then the Kurus, they heavily outfought Samba, and they captured him. But they used about 8 Maharatis against one young boy. And for a while he fought them up, but then he was not able to keep fighting. So then all the Kurus went there, they were going to have a war, right? The followers of Krishna. So then Krishna, Balaram, he said, okay, I'll go and negotiate the peace. So he went to negotiate the peace, and then the Kauravas, they were not in the peacemaking mode, right? So he said, okay, they made comments like, oh, the shoes that are fit for walking want to become the crown, right? So because we're the Kurus, we're the kings, right? So Balaram got angry, and he started with his plow, and he started dragging Hastinapur into the, which is now New Delhi, into the Jamuna. So that's why during the rainy season, Delhi floods, right? It's getting low down. So when they saw the whole city being dragged, then they surrendered to Balaram, right? And then Romashan Shuta, he was given the job of speaking to the 80,000 sages at Naimisharanya, and because Balaram didn't want to take part in the battle, right? Because he had both Bhima and Duryodhana were his disciples. So then he arranged for pilgrimage. So he went on pilgrimage all around India to avoid the Battle of Kurukshetra. And then when he came into the assembly of the 80,000 sages, Ugrashav Shuta was sitting on the Vyasasana, so he didn't get up. Everybody else stood up in honor of respect for Balaram, but he didn't get up, right? So then Balaram, he came and he said, "You're not qualified to be guru." Chopped his head off with his hand. And then all the sages were, "Oh, what have you done? What have you done? Oh, we're going to hear the Bhagavatam from now." So he got the son of Ugrashav Shuta, right? And Sutta Goswami, and he installed him on the Vyasasana, and he gave him all the knowledge. He was just like a 5-year-old boy, according to Gurudev, a 5-year-old son. And then he spoke to all the 80,000 sages. So we could go on. There's so much more information about Balaram, but time is limited. So any quick questions? No? Okay. Panchakalpadrubhyascha, Kripasindhubhyagacha, Idnam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namaha.
Hare Krishna, can the people